On a Gemba Walk, it's what you see. It's also what you say.
How would you describe a quality installation here today in this hallway?
On a typical day, what type of productivity are we going to see out of this gentleman here?
Who was in first ahead of you, or your predecessor, who was able to do their work in order for you to do your work?
So you have a crew here today. Would you mind kind of taking us through what you're doing out here today?
What do you have going on here today, Eric?
Well, can you tell me, how do you know when you've had a good day?
Are there any other trades that you need to be concerned with in terms of how you do your work?
How do you know that an area is ready for your carpenters to come in and start work?
What do you need done before you can set this glass?
Well, how would you classify a successful day?
What are some of the defects or issues that come out on a daily basis with your guys?
Are there any other trades involved in doing work prior to you doing yours?
So how is the work going today?
Dan, I have a question. Is there, in the next job you guys do that is similar to this job, what would you do different?
Who follows you when you put down the deck and the deck is framed? Who's the next trade in after you?
And then what's next? Is the actual glass going in the opening next?
What's your function on this project?
Who follows you? Who are you leaving this work for?
Most importantly, it's about engaging with the people that create value.
First of all, I'd like to say, Glenn, good morning. And how are you?
Good.
Very nice to see you. Can you tell me what you guys are working on currently here?
Well, right now, this area right here is going to be mostly roof. And we got a crew of guys up on top of the roof here decking. Okay, and out ahead of them, we have a separate crew that are putting up shores and scaffolding ahead of them. And then over here, we're pouring the deck that's already been framed and rebars in it, piping for electric and plumbing, and heat ducts are all in. That's being poured.
Talk about one of the changes you had mentioned to me just a little while ago while we were talking as we were setting up. Talk to me about that change, when it came, and if you know why it came and how the information came to you.
Yeah, we had some stud rails that were changed on the deck that they're pouring now, and we didn't get the change until after the bottom load of rebar was in. And we tried to get the stud rails in before the rebar, and then once the change came, they were moving stud rails from one column and putting them in another, and it's a lot more work after the rebar's in. And I don't know why they changed it. It's something with the engineering, I suppose, but I don't know the exact reason why. But it's twice as hard to do after the rebar's in.
On a typical day, what type of productivity are we going to see out of this gentleman here?
Well, what we're looking for in the way of wall framing, guys, we look for about 18 feet an hour. Okay, so anywhere from 180 to 200 feet a day is a great day. Okay, if guys are putting up 120 to 130, that's about average. But this is one of my top guys here, and he's doing about 180, 200 feet of wall a day. Reason being, the way we stock our jobs is I make sure I have steel located where we need it. Okay, I have A-frames, drywall carts, full of material so that they can move it around with them from floor, from area of the floor to wherever they need to go. So that's one big time saver right there. If you don't stock your job correctly, you're not going to be productive.
So how do you feel that the pole planning process is working out here, and what are you bringing to the table for the pole planning?
Well, this being my first big job that I've ever ran as a foreman, but I've done a lot of jobs as a lead man. I've sat in on a lot of job meetings. Okay, this is the first time I've ever seen the pole planning. Normally meetings on other jobs, you go in there and you meet, you have 4 meetings a week, and it's a meeting about another meeting to coordinate for the last meeting that maybe then you'll talk about the work. What I like about pole planning is it's done once a week. Every trade's in there, and every trade puts their tags up in the order that the work's supposed to be done. Obviously the carpenters drive the schedule. Okay, so it's important that when I put my areas up of work and lengths of time per floor, it's important that I hit that. And when I do hit that, it keeps the flow of work moving smoothly. Nobody has to guess, oh, where's Levy gonna be today? Or, oh, did Levy frame on this floor and then say, screw it, we're gonna jump to this floor. That pole planning really helps coordinate the job and keeps the workflow, on an even keel. It's beautiful.
So are you seeing great value in this? Is it spurring good conversation? Is it helping with the productivity for your company to ultimately succeed?
Absolutely, because I know, based off of what I've seen my workers be able to do and how long it takes the other trades to do their work, it allows me to be able to put together a schedule of when I can release material to go to those floors, and then I can have workers on those floors, and we're much more productive. There's no lost time. There's no having to wait or bounce around. In the long run, it causes Levy to make a lot more money. There's a lot more productivity because there's coordination as to where I'm going next. There's no lost time, and with that comes greater profit.